Yo, what's up? Here's a review for episode 5 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. There will be spoilers here, so be ready for that. The episode is called Mean, Green, and Straight Poured Into These Jeans. And the episode basically surrounds She-Hulk and her trying to fight for her infringement or try to fight for her trademark to the She-Hulk name and basically her right to use it. You have Titania, who's basically filed a infringement lawsuit against She-Hulk saying, yo, you can't go by this name anymore. I'm using it on perfume and all type of products and clothing and stuff like that, and I'm dealing with this whole name now. And you also had this episode surrounds with Nikki and Pugs try to find She-Hulk suits that are, fittable and actually make her look good. And also they end up maybe getting a superhero suit at the end, which you don't really see, and it also alludes to something else. For me, the things that I really enjoyed about this episode, I thought that Nikki and Pugs were very funny in their role, and I love them too, going around finding a suit and stuff like that, and especially when they get to the guy who is making the suit. I love all the interactions before they get there and stuff like that. I thought Nikki, I adore her, man. She's great, she's beautiful and everything, and she's kind of funny as well. Pugs, he's the same thing, dude's a handsome motherfucker, and he's really good as well. I would have loved to have gotten a little bit more with their characters throughout this episode, as far as just getting them to play around with the idea of trying to find a suit, maybe go to one place, don't see it there, or this guy that they're looking for is a lot harder to find than they thought he was. That would have been a lot more enjoyable. When they do find him, I would have loved to have seen there be like one or two other superpowered people in there that are getting suits from him, and get a little bit there as well. For me, this episode, I think that was the main issue I had with this episode, was that number one, is too short. This is probably one of the shorter episodes that we got. But also, man, I think that they could have fulfilled this episode with just a little bit more just things in between, especially when you're dealing with the court case where you got Mallory Brooks, the character of Mallory Brooks, who's representing She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, and you have her, going through the court case and trying to figure out, how things are going to go on with the whole, the name rights of She-Hulk and whether Titania is going to use it or not. I like that we got to see like them. Jennifer Walters barge into one of the I guess you call it like a fashion show or whatever for Titania, and her showing off all the products and stuff like that. I like that. I wish we got a little bit more of that. I enjoyed the court case itself, especially when you had the not ex-boyfriends, but the ex-dates that she had come up and testify after She-Hulk and basically realized that she can get them to testify that she has been using the name. I even enjoyed how the Mallory Brooks character, how serious she was in the role. She's most definitely, you could tell, probably a better lawyer than Jennifer Walters is here, but I enjoyed what they did with that. But like I said, it just wasn't enough in this episode, and it felt like they had a story here that probably could have worked to make it enough more, but you just have to give it more time to play out. Even the character of Mallory, we don't know too much about her, so when you introduce her in this episode, we don't really get as much as we really want out of this character, and as far as we can really take her. And then even with the clothing designer Luke, I enjoyed his character, and I thought he was a really fun character, even towards the end where, or towards the middle, I guess, where he finds She-Hulk or he sees She-Hulk and he goes like, yo, I could really do something with this. This is kind of a thrill to make something for her. And I was interested to see, okay, what is the clothing going to be? But we don't even see that in this episode. They kind of saving it for the next episode and stuff. And, what are her suits are going to look like and all that stuff. And even with saying that, dude, like, I'm not so sure if that should have been a part of this whole thing, because I think the suits that they put on She-Hulk, as far as what she wears as a lawyer right now, that's kind of a major issue with a lot of the CG work, because the frumpiness of the suit just does not help the Jennifer Walters She-Hulk character, especially when she's transformed into She-Hulk. Like, maybe if it was really tight on her to where, it doesn't have to look so frumpy and it could look a lot better where she's wearing it, I think that would help the CG a lot more. And you could also do it to say, when she shrinks down, it's really, baggy and stuff, but it should have been like a lot tighter on her when she got bigger. And that would have, you could still do the same story, but it'll look a lot better. What else was there? Oh, the end credits scene, there was none in this episode. There was, though, some little snippets with the courtroom drawings that we've been seeing at the end of every episode. If you look at one scene where Pugs is holding the shoes, or one picture where Pugs is holding the shoes, you see like he has his little Iron Man shoe, which I love that idea that, superheroes have their own shoe and stuff like that. And you even saw like what maybe a Deadpool or Wolverine shoe in the background. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, this episode was, it was fun at parts. I enjoyed most of it. It just did not have enough to warrant it kind of being an episode on its own. And for that, I kind of go with a 2.75 stars out of 5. I enjoyed the watch, but as just somebody talking about this episode, it most definitely didn't need to be one on its own. You could have connected this with another one and, gave us something that's 40 minutes, or just made this longer and really delve into what they're doing with the themes here. But yeah, that's my review for She-Hulk episode 5. What is it called again? Mean, green, and straight poured into these jeans. I'm out of here. Peace.